We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Morning, everyone. Welcome to the November 25th meeting of the Board of County Commissioners. My name is Shelley Bueller, and I have the privilege of serving as chair of the commission alongside my colleagues, Commissioner Kevin Cook and Commissioner Bob Archer.
Good morning.
Good morning. Madam Clerk, we do have a request to pull item F1, and so I'll make that motion. It is an IT contract.
Second.
There's a second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Okay. I think we'll have discussion on that item.
Okay. All right.
We'll be all right.
Item 3, consent agenda.
Just 2 items on the consent agenda. Are there questions?
Motion to approve. Second.
There's a motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Item 4, new business. A, county clerk. Number 1, consider all voucher payments.
Madam Chair, this morning we have one set of vouchers dated November 22nd, 2013 in the amount of $1,295,015.47, and I'll make a motion to approve the vouchers as presented. Second.
There's a motion by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Number 2, consider correction orders.
Move approval. Is there a
Second.
second? Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Number 3, consider approval of resolution numbers 2013-181 and 2013-182, authorizing cereal malt beverage licenses for Petro Deli Inc., located at 3603 Northwest 46th Street, and Lake Shawnee Golf Management, LLC, doing business as Forbes Golf Course, located at 700 Cape Hart Road, including Sunday sales.
And all the paperwork had checked out.
Yes.
Correct.
Mhm.
And just had one question, and John, I'll bring it. Our contract for the management of Forbes Golf Course runs until the end of December, is that correct?
Yes, the contract with, this is where it gets a little confusing. The company that we contract with to run all 3 of our golf courses is called Lake Shawnee Golf Course Management. They have a contract for Cypress Ridge and Lake Shawnee, which runs through 2014, but their contract for Forbes runs through the end of this year, 2013.
Okay,
And that has not been renewed.
okay. Is there any reason why we couldn't bring it up later, at a later date? I mean, I know these are usually done the end of the year, beginning of the year, but,
Is my understanding from visiting with the county clerk is that this is the last opportunity to refund him the amount that he's paid for that. We could always come back down and ask for another license
okay.
later in the year if we decided to.
Okay. Commissioners, any further questions? So by just approving the one resolution, then that would set in motion the refund, correct?
I believe that's what, my discussions with Cindy Beck was, basically, she limits the amount of information she gives to me because she's afraid I'll mess it up. So that is pretty much way I understood it.
Commissioner?
Yes.
The application was actually made by Austin Tillman.
Mhm.
I don't know if Mr. Tillman is present. So
He is not.
for us to take action on that person's application, effectively denying it, without them having the opportunity
To respond.
to respond. And I would note that these are primarily approved as a matter of course
Mhm.
by this point.
I don't think there's any harm in approving it. I mean, they've done the application, but I just wanted to point out that
Okay.
that contract does expire. Commissioner Archer?
How much is the license fee, John?
I do not know.
Okay.
It's $525. It's $500 for the license and $25 for the state stamp. So
Okay.
it's $525. Mhm.
Okay.
Can it be deferred?
Wait, that's what I was just
And then I can
wondering.
visit and have
Defer
Mr. Austin
Monday.
come down?
I would prefer to defer
Sure.
rather
Okay.
than to effectively deny.
Yeah, I think that would be fine. Okay.
So I would make a motion to approve the issuance of the cereal malt beverage permit for the Petro Deli, but defer the application for the Lake Shawnee Golf Management LLC doing business as Forbes Golf until Monday.
Yeah, or when you can make arrangements with Austin, then.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Monday would be the second.
Okay. And you'll let us know if that won't work
Yes, I
with
will.
him. Okay, there's,
Point of information,
Yes.
the motion is to approve Resolution 2013-181 and defer action on 2013-182. Is that
that's,
correct?
That's
that's how
correct.
I understand
Okay,
it,
I'll
yes.
second that.
Motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Item B, District Court, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C-570-2013 with Oracle for annual maintenance of a database at a cost of $6,187.14.
Good morning, Commissioners. This is a pretty standard agreement. We have worked with Oracle for a long time. I would ask for an addition to my request in that we would encumber this $6,187 out of this year's budget for payment on this contract.
And Kathy, you did have conversation with our financial administrator on that request.
Motion to approve.
So motion to approve by Commissioner Archer,
Second.
second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Number 2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-571-2013 with Beach Glen for annual maintenance of the HP 3000 at a cost of $24,227.
Same situation with this contract. Beach Glen has been working with us to keep this HP 3000 going for a number of years, duct tape and paper clips at times, but we would ask to get this approved and encumber the $24,227.
Motion to approve.
So motion by Commissioner Cook,
Second.
second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries
Thank you,
3-0. Thank you.
Item C, Kansas Expo Center, number 1, consider approval of request for capital expenditures in a total amount of $16,587.41 for the following. A, repair of McQuay rooftop unit serving Landon Arena at a cost of $1,249.40. B, complete Phase 2 of the project to replace faulty 2- and 3-way valves on the air handling units at a cost of $11,882. C, replace cooling tower motor starter and contactor at a cost of $2,219.26. And D, replace handicapped parking signage at a cost of $1,236.75.
Morning, Commissioners. H.R. Cook was unable to make it this morning. He has a corporate conference call he had to be at 9 o'clock this morning, so he sent me in his place. The items are before you have been approved by the Kansas Expo Center Advisory Board. I'd be happy to answer any questions that anyone might have.
I have none. Are there questions?
No.
I'll make a motion to approve the request for capital expenditures.
I would second the request.
So motion by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Item D, Public Works Solid Waste, number 1, consider approval of emergency purchase from Safety Clean to clean a floor drain in the North Annex garage in an amount of $2,436.45.
Good morning, Commissioners. Tom Blanc with Public Works and Solid Waste. This item actually happens to be a joint Public Works and Solid Waste item. In our garage, we service both Public Works and solid waste trucks, and over the years, We'll get sand and dirt and debris from the floor that will get into the floor drain. It's my understanding that they were showing some signs of a potential backup, so they had contacted Safety Clean, who does a lot of this type of work for us, and they had to come out and clean out the drain system for us before we actually had an actual backup. The cost of this would be split 50% from Public Works and 50% from the solid waste funds. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to try to answer them.
Thank you, Tom. Any questions?
Motion to approve the emergency request.
So motion by Commissioner Cook,
Second.
second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thanks, Tom.
Item E, Health Agency, number 1, consider approval to purchase medical equipment for the Community Health Center clinics through Physicians Sales and Services under an existing contract with PSS at a cost of $4,933.13.
Good morning, Commissioners. Alice Weingartner, Health Agency. This request is before you. The items that we're requesting to purchase are part of our contract with Physicians Sales Service. Because they are equipment-related items, that's why we're bringing them before you, as well as because of the total purchase amount. In purchasing these equipment, we will make sure our exam rooms are equipped at the proper levels that they need to be. We don't anticipate shipping costs related to this, and it would be funded through our 2013 budget allocation. I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
Thank you, Alice. Other questions from anyone?
I would move to approve the purchase of medical equipment.
I'll second.
Sure. There's a motion by Commissioner Cook and second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Number 2, consider authorization and execution of contract C-572-2013 with Compliance Line, Inc., sanctioncheck.com, to access their website and database for monthly verification of employees, providers, and contractors at a cost of $600 per year.
Commissioners, myself and Aaron Scraper, our Quality Improvement and Risk Management Officer, attended a training back in April and learned of this system called Compliance Check, sanctioncheck.com. We are required to check individuals to make sure that they do not have any violations off the Office of Inspector General's list of excluded individuals, and that relates to billing for Medicaid and Medicare federally funded programs. Currently, it does require staff about 4 hours a month to check all of our employees and contractors. We know that that list needs to be expanded to make sure that we're checking other individuals as well. With this cost of only $600 a year and it only then taking 30 minutes to do this work, we see it as really cost effective and giving the staff person who's been doing this work some time back to focus on other areas such as workforce development, training and recruitment, and staff retention activities. So I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
Very good. Thanks, Alice. I have no questions. I'll move approval of the contract. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Cook. Discussion? All in favor of the motion say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Number 3, consider approval of request to solicit bids for the purchase of a 4-wheel drive vehicle.
Good morning, Commissioners. Ed Kales, Health Agency, here for any questions you might have.
You might just go over a little bit, Ed, what you're requesting.
Basically, we're looking to get a 4-wheel drive vehicle to do the work of our on-site wastewater division. Not only do they do on-site work for septic systems, and they also do nuisance complaints out in the county. They go out and they verify rabies quarantine releases of dogs out in the county. They go out and do evaluations of sites, and we do not ever know what kind of weather or land conditions that we're going to have. So we've been using 4-wheel vehicles for a very, very long time. We've got a number of vehicles that we currently have. The youngest one that we have is about at 111,000 miles. The other 2 older ones are at about 250,000 miles each. And so we're asking basically to replace one of the oldest ones to be able to do the work that we need to do.
And this is just a request to go out for bids.
Correct.
Commissioner Archer?
Thank you. Actually, I think the vehicle you wanted to replace only has 246,000 miles instead of 250,000, but be that as it may. How much do you have budgeted for this purchase?
This purchase was budgeted for next year. That amount was removed from our budget to be able to meet our requirements for the 2014 budget,
Okay.
and we have overage this year to be able to do that. We have not bought a new vehicle since 2007 in this department, and so we found the opportunity to be able to at least attempt to try to do that now.
And how much do you have budgeted?
Budgeted for it, we originally started at $16,000 because that's what we had done before. But through looking on the internet, we found we're looking more at $20,000. But we are not adverse at all to looking for used vehicles or any
Okay.
other kinds of. We've actually talked to the county, and there really aren't any four-wheel drive vehicles that we can get for hand-me-downs.
Right, I did note that, and, yeah, I would, with that reduced budget, you may want to look into lease turn-ins and that kind of thing, so. That's the only questions I had, Madam Chair.
And again, the reason for the four-wheel drive is just for the
It's-
areas that you go to, but also the equipment that you haul and that
No,
sort
not
of
so much the
thing, or
equipment,
what?
it's the areas. We, a lot of the places that we go are for new construction, and they're out far away from where the roads are. And for example, on a perk test, they need to go back every half an hour to verify the levels in the holes, and having them go from the road back to the site is a burden. Plus the fact that heavy mud, other weather conditions in the winter also can cause us some problems. And our staff's vehicles just are not equipped to handle that.
Thank you. Any questions?
Well, we have 3 vehicles now. We have 2 vehicles that are both at approximately the same mileage, and we're only going to replace one, so we're still going to be short-staffed on our vehicles, right?
Yes, we've attempted to get this we put it on yearly to see what the budget holds for us. And so this is another year that we've added it back to the budget to try to replace those vehicles as we can. And we have replaced, as you can see in the request, what are they called? What did I write? Transmissions, basically, on a number of vehicles. So we make do with what we have, and this is an opportunity for us to be able to ask, again, for a new one, to be able to keep that fleet as new as we can keep it.
Would you anticipate then in the following year to go ahead and try and replace that 3rd vehicle?
No, not at this rate, based on what I've seen in the conversations that I've had with our management and what I've watched with the budget. No,
So we would go from a fleet of 3 to a fleet of 2?
No, we would still attempt to use the other one as long as we can and make sure that they're safe. That's the reason why we replaced the transmissions. We haven't had a requirement to replace any engines yet. But from what I understand from the maintenance folks at the county garage, 100,000 miles for, let's say, the sheriff's office is about the maximum they attempt. Now, they do different work,
Right.
but still, we're doing pretty well in maintaining the equipment that we've been given, and we're just trying to replace it as we can.
Any further questions?
Commissioner, I would move to allow the department to go out to bid for the vehicle this time.
There's a motion by Commissioner Cook. Is there a second? I'll second the motion. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item F1 has been pulled. Item G, Parks and Recreation, number 1, consider authorization and execution of contract C 574, 2013 with North Topeka Sunrise Optimists for the operation of a Christmas tree sales lot in Big Shunga Park, Southwest 29th and Randolph.
Excuse me. Good morning, Commissioners. John Knight, Parks and Recreation. This is to allow, as the clerk just said, an Optimist Club to sell Christmas trees on a portion of a park. And we have a hard surface parking lot there. It works pretty good for them. Be happy to answer any other questions you might have.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Number 2, consider approval of a request to extend the terms and pricing from Dean's Lawn Care for snow removal at the 5 courthouse parking lots at $950 per call and 3 health agency parking lots at $360 per call.
Commissioner, this request is actually to extend the quotation 038-10, which also was not included in my memo, was $195 for the new health agency clinic that was built since when we began this. If you wouldn't mind, it was part of the original request for the RFP, but it didn't make my memo, and I apologize for that. Be happy to answer any other questions you might have. This locks in a low bid for one more year. Next year, we, according to the bid specs, we'll have to go out for bid, but this locks in a low bid for one more year.
What was the amount you said for the health agency?
$195 for the new health agency
For
parking lot.
California.
And due to budget restrictions this year, we've specifically requested no snow this winter, so hopefully.
Thanks, John.
The 195 is within the documentation.
Is it already in there? Oh, that is. So it's still 950.
950, 360, and 195.
Okay. All right, thank you. Are there questions? Or a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
It's a motion to approve by Commissioner Archer, second by Commissioner Cook. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Item H, Commission Number 1, consider approval of letter to the Shawnee County Legislative Delegation regarding concerns and possible legislation that would eliminate the mortgage registration service fee.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rich Eckert, County Counselor. This is an issue that you've seen before. We've talked about it before. This is our formal letter that we would like to send to the Shawnee County delegation. In no pride of authorship, we kind of are joining with our brothers and sisters in Sedgwick County and drafted this letter in the style that they sent to their delegation. One thing that I would like to point out, that what we're seeing is that the industry who wants to do away with this tax, the real estate community and the bankers, are portraying it as this is your tax that funds your Register of Deeds office, and in most cases it far exceeds the amount budgeted for that office. And in fact, that's true here in Shawnee County. But that's not the argument, though, and we can't let them win that. This funds our real estate departments in Shawnee County, and that is at least our appraiser's office, our county clerk's office, our Register of Deeds office, our zoning office, and then my office is approximately 1/3 of what we do is real estate, at least. And then when you want to throw in public works, don't even get us started. What those departments budget for are far more than what this tax brings in. So if we're going to stay on message, we must talk about what this tax really budgets for the county.
Any questions of Rich? Have you received any correspondence to you directly on this topic? I know I received at least one email.
No, I have not, no.
You have not? Okay. Any questions or comments?
Commissioners and I would ask that we approve the letter to be sent to the legislative delegation.
I'll second that.
It's a motion by Commissioner Cook, second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you, Rich.
Administrative communications.
Anyone have any administrative communications today? All right, next item.
Executive sessions.
We do have a need for a period not to exceed 20 minutes for employee-employer relations and non-elected personnel. And I'm going to put legal matters in there as well. That is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Archer. All in favor of the motion, say aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries. No action anticipated.
year, and my dad has been diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. He also has diabetes and issues with circulation, but he's been able to stay at the house, and he and my mom are able to live there together with some assistance. He's been getting help from the home care assistance program with baths. That's basically what he needs. He needs help with bathing. He's a little unstable on his feet. And with this county program, he was, it's a sliding scale, as you probably know, what people pay, and we've been paying $10 per hour for this service for him. And when my family learned that this program was possibly going to be stopped, I actually contacted Commissioner Cook and spoke with him on the phone about this, and I understood at that time that you were trying to locate alternative care providers to offer this service. And then the vote occurred, and the letter arrived to my parents the same week that my sister had a stroke. So I'm back here trying to take care of this for my family, and I've been contacting all the private agencies I can think of. The Jayhawk Community on Agents. I've spoke to Commissioner Cook again. I've spoken to Catholic Charities. I've spoken to United Way. I spoke to the County Health Agency, and they gave me the list of their alternative providers that can offer this. And there were 8 providers on there. They're all for-profit. And I've spoken to every provider on this list, and the cost is ridiculous. I'm telling you, we were paying $10 an hour, and it takes about 30 minutes for my dad to get a bath, 30 to 45 minutes. With these private agencies, they have a 2-hour minimum per visit. And so what he needs for 30 minutes of care twice a week, that's 1 hour a week, those agencies have a 2-hour minimum. So we're paying for 4 hours per week and at a much higher price. The average cost between all of those agencies for this care is $276 a month. Who among our senior citizens really can afford to pay $276 a month for the most basic preventative health care thing that we can do, which is, just personal hygiene? He just needs help with that, and it's so expensive. So our solutions really, this is coming up quick. In 2 weeks, we have to try to find some solution. So one solution is that he just not get care from these private agencies. And do you know what happens to people with diabetes when they're not bathed properly and they get sores? It's a very serious medical problem. The other solution that's been proposed, even by one of the social workers, is that he go into a long-term care facility, into a nursing home. And if you think that this decision to save money for these 61 people that are on this home care program, you're saving a little bit of money with this vote, putting someone into a long-term care program where you're not paying for 4 to 6 hours per month for help with baths, but you're paying for 672 hours per month for long-term care facilities. It just makes no sense. And maybe the budget gets shifted a little bit because some other agency, a federal agency or someone else will pay, but the cost to society in general is far greater. I don't understand. To me, it's highly illogical. I'm not trained in social work. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not trained in politics. I'm a scientist, but to me, this is just highly illogical, and I feel like it's my responsibility on behalf of my dad, and with this deadline coming, to just say what the impact has had on the one client of this agency that I know, which is in my own family. And I just thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I know the decisions were not made lightly. There was lots of consideration, but we certainly appreciate you.
We have no solution. It's in 2 weeks is my dad's birthday, and that's when the program is ending. I don't know what we'll do.
Ms. Archer.
Disgusting, honestly.
Would it, and I know when my father died, my mother was sick and she couldn't take care of herself, so we moved her in our house. Would that be a possibility, to move him to Sacramento so you could take care of your father? I know it was a struggle for us to do that,
Yeah.
but our family came first, and that's what we did.
You know what, I have thought about moving to Topeka. I work in biotechnology. I'm a scientific researcher. There's not one damn job in Topeka that will suit my degree. And I've thought of moving back here. I've considered, I would consider moving my parents there, but it's really not practical. People have lived there their whole lives. Psychological impact of moving them there. And it's just my sister and I, and she's been trying to carry this. I've been back and forth to Topeka 6 times this year. She's been trying to carry this. she's had a stroke dealing with this, and now it's worse. So we're really, the problem is now just far worse than it was. It's for a simple thing, like the most basic thing that you can do to prevent bigger problems and people ending up in nursing homes. It's only baths. It's a very simple thing, but it's become a tremendous thing in our family. I don't know whether you all understood when you made this vote the impact that you're having on people's lives, but to me, it's not, I cannot understand it for the life of me. And thank you, I'm sorry to be emotional, but it's serious for me.
Understood.
Thank you. Back in 20 minutes. How are you? Good to see you too. We are back in session. No action required. We are adjourned.